All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about build out scenarios in the 4-3-1 formation 9v9 youth soccer. It's very important that you understand what the difference is and what is a build out, okay? We are no longer, as a team, for those of you on my team that are watching, we are no longer going to just first thing just have the goalie walk out and free kick it into the middle. What I have found is that we win that ball maybe 50% of the time. Let's just say 50%. And what we want to strive for is 100% control as we build out from the back. That means when the goalie has the ball, what are we going to do with it? And this video is going to cover a few different build out scenarios that we're going to be working on this season as we get up towards the spring league here. It's coming up really quick, so pay attention. This is the build out formations for 4-3-1 formation 9v9. Okay, we're going to talk about these build-out scenarios, and the build-out scenario that we're going to use the majority of the time, what we're really striving for is build-out number one. And build-out number one is what I've discovered is going to be the safest way to get our ball out of the back and down the field without as much interruption from the other team. So as we start off with build-out number one, again, we're going to avoid just free kicking it in the middle, and we're going to try to work this ball out. First step is going to be getting that ball out to one of the backs. In this case, it's the right back. Now, once that right back or the back gets that ball, he's going to want to take the space. You can see as he takes the space here, the striker in the left wing will encroach. Now, once those players encroach him, he wants to get rid of that ball quickly. And what we're going to look to do is we're going to look to get this ball out to the right wing back. Now I want you to notice as this happens, first of all, I want you to notice how the rest of our players are going to shift over to the side where the ball's at. You can see how everybody shifts over as it gets to the wing back. This is going to put us in a better position to play this ball up the field with some passing. Once that right back gets it, he's going to take his space. You will see that the number 6 midfielder will come in, close off the gap, where then the wing back is going to play a 1-2 wall pass off of the right midfielder and end up in the middle of the field, hopefully in this scenario where we have 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 3 outnumbering the opposing team, which will give us a great opportunity to drive into the goal. Okay, so that is build out scenario number one. Now let's go to build out 1A. Okay, 1A starts off very similar to number one, except in this scenario, the right back's going to take his space, dish it out to the right wing back. The whole team is going to shift. And this time you'll see this midfielder is actually going to cut off that angle to the right wing back. Okay, so he's going to kind of interfere here with the right wing back. And the right midfielder is going to recognize that you need to recognize that you've got a lot of space here. So in this scenario, we're just going to now just dish it right out to the striker. And again, we end up in a similar scenario where we're very offensive moving forward throughout the field. Okay, so that is build out scenario 1A. Now build out scenario number 2 starts off very similar to number 1, where we are going to give it to the right back, and the right back is going to take a little bit of a space. But in this scenario, he's going to actually give this ball to the center midfielder. And once he's given to the center midfielder is then going to bounce it off either directly to the wing back or off of the right midfielder. And again, we're going to end up in this scenario. I want you to notice that the midfielder on the opposing team sticks around in this area. He does not encroach the wing back because he realizes that the center mid had the ball initially. Okay, so this is going to leave a lot of their players in the middle of the field, which should leave some more options open for the wing back to make plays. Okay, so that is build out number 2. And now we're going to go to 2A, which starts off similar to number 2, where the right back moves forward, gets it out to the center midfielder, but this time the center midfielder is going to recognize the space that he has in the middle and move the ball forward in the middle of the field. The midfielders are going to cover each other, and chances are he will have an open shot to the striker or potentially the right midfielder. A couple of options there for you in scenario 2A. Okay. Now moving on to build out scenario number 3. Build out 3 is a defense mechanism. When the other team closes down on our defense and our midfielders, we have to do something with the ball, and the defensive back needs to recognize that this is happening. So notice here how the striker, the left wing, and the midfielder close off. And now we're going to be forced to move the ball back to the goalie and across the other side of the field. So this is scenario number 3. When we can't get it out to that central midfielder or the wing back, that defensive back needs to cover the field, which will ultimately get it back up to the wing back, maybe play a 1-2 out, or take this entire space and drive in ultimately to shoot a goal. Again, another scenario where it leaves us very offensive and outnumbering the other team. Okay, so that is scenario number 3. Just going to play this one again at half speed here, a little bit quicker so you can see gets in trouble, crosses it back over the field. The other team is struggling now to catch up to us at this point as we shift it back, and it's a very fast break as we get to the other side of the field. Okay. Now moving on to our last resort, which is build out number 4. Build out 4 is going to have a trigger. Now the trigger is for our team is that the goalie is not going to initially get it out to the left back. The goalie is actually going to walk forward to the end of the penalty box. This is a trigger for everybody on the field to know that the goalie is intending to kick the ball out. Now the goalie has to recognize that the rest of the team has closed down on us and is covering us pretty well. He will also have to recognize that there's not a lot of players in the other side of the field here, which he's going to be able to take advantage of. And you can see he's going to move forward. The rest of our team shifts forward because they see that trigger. And the goalie's going to make a free kick out into the middle of the field, which hopefully, if we do this quickly enough and we catch them off guard, we'll have a lot here, a lot of offensive. It's basically uninterrupted to the goal. We should be able to score a goal almost every time in this scenario. And then just the last one here that I put together, very similar to number 4, except instead of going right through the middle, the goalie's going to come out to the edge of the box and actually just try to play it like a leading pass almost, but free kick it out to one of the wing backs on the edge of the field, where we'd have a lot of scenario here, either wing back, and then we can work the ball in from there. So those are the 4 scenarios, build out scenarios that we are going to be working on. And as we move forward, this next video is going to cover offensive press. We're going to take these build out scenarios from wherever they're at, and we're going to see how we're going to work this ball into the goal, hopefully scoring some more goals. So click that box above there, which will get you right to the next video, and we will talk about the 4-3-1 offensive press.